All right, I'm back. My wife got us Waba Grill. We're both doing some pretty intense working on illustration deadlines, and in my case, some cartooning deadlines. So if you haven't yet, check out Jacob's Apartment, my graphic novel. That's kind of a doomed romance, slice of life, coming of age story the best description I can make on a quick pitch when I need to get to drawing comics is it's like if you took Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind and Ghost World and put them in a blender and you like that flavor. That's what it is. It's a book that's about the kinds of questions that can, or the kinds of things that can make you question even the strongest of faith. And then Two Stories is my other graphic novel, and that's my autobiographical one that's much more gets more heavily into talks of trying to demystify open discussions of mental illness. And we're just going to continue. So, what I'm working on during this stream, so I'm a graphic designer, illustrator. I've been doing that for professionally for about 20 years. And then I've been an art director for about 8. When I'm not doing that, I'm working on comics. And what I do during these streams is lately I've been working on a graphic novel that's a historical fiction story about Robert and Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And we were starting earlier today on an earlier stream. I've been flatting page 22. I'm a little behind where I need to be, so I'm hoping to do a lot of catch up today, see how far we can get. And we are coloring this. So that first panel got finished. I'm pretty happy with how that came out. I think that looks pretty rad. And now we're going to move on to flatting. I think I might just take this like one little section at a time. But now I'm much happier with that sort of ship sequence. So that's where we are. And now we're gonna, everything that's magenta on this is stuff that needs to be colored, and we're just gonna continue on down the road. And if you join, just feel free to say hi in the chats, to participate in the chats, or to just send super chats. So, and if you're watching this after the fact, I do take super thanks, and I also take just regular compliments or comments or whatever. But yeah, so hopefully this will be fun. Full transparency, I'm a little goofy from like a lack of sleep and working pretty hard this weekend, but we will see how far we can get. So right now I'm going to do Robert's hair and kind of deselect his hair from a bunch of these different panels. And then we're going to just kind of continue. But I did break from the last stream just to eat. And my wife ordered us Waba Grill, which is pretty tasty. So they are not a sponsor of the show, but it's not too bad. Sometimes when you are like us and you have like a family that's working artists, there's times where you got to order food. And if you have to order food, that's like one of the healthier options, I think. But we're going to knock through these pages. I think that at minimum, hopefully during this stream, I'll be able to finish flatting this page and then move on to the next. And that'll be where I needed to be yesterday. All right. So, yeah, with comics, flat coloring, I always try to do my flats where the edge of the line is anti-aliased. Or sorry, aliased, not anti-aliased, so that it doesn't have a blurry edge. And in this case, where I have a lot of line art that has rendering on it, it's not like I can just use a selection tool and just do color fills, which is how I would approach it if this were a more kind of traditional clean art style. But there's advantages to this style because once the flats are kind of laid out there with like occasionally using very mild amounts of rendering, you can get a really cool kind of Victorian type effect. So that things kind of look like an old toned photograph or something from that era. And that's like kind of the feel I want to go for, considering this is a book that takes place in Victorian times. So why not? Okay. So now we have, I also had mentioned on the previous stream that my sister-in-law has a book out called October French and the Broken Hearts. It's under M.L. Stewart, and I would recommend you guys check it out if you like novels. It seems like a very fun. I've only managed to read about a chapter of it, but it's very intriguing, and I'm kind of interested in seeing where it's going. And I think it's going to be a good book. It so far is a very good start. So we'll see. But I want to recommend it because as artists and creatives, we got to support each other when we overcome odds and make that stuff happen. We have a lot of interesting things coming. Full transparency, I bumped into a doorway yesterday. I was up working this morning at like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. And I was actually listening to Adam Lohr's stream, which was pretty fun. He's been on the channel before. But it was kind of neat because I was working on stuff I can't really stream while I do. I'm not super good at engaging or talking to people while I'm drawing. But I try to stream during every process where I can. But it was fun because I saw that his stream was on, so I put it on to listen to because I can definitely listen to stuff. And that was a pretty fun time. But I was having that strange delirium that kicks in at like 3 a.m. when you have been working all day. And I went outside, and when I came back inside, I walked straight into the door. Not the door, but like the door was open, and I just walked into the side of it thinking it was open more. And so that is the mark you will see on my forehead. It's not the dark mark. It's not Voldemort did not visit. It's just not that cool of a story. But I thought I should mention it just in case anyone's like, what is that? All right, so we have Elizabeth's hair now. Just deselecting some stuff.
No, that's not it.
And now we're just kind of handling these things as we can go.
I'm sure we can figure it out. There's a piece on the table here. That's one you already had, or was that the one I was missing?
So getting all the hair sections. And this is kind of a weird way to color. Sometimes it's fun to tackle like a different, each panel one at a time. But there's times like this where I think it's better to just kind of tackle specific color fills all in bulk. I think it just depends on what you need to achieve. And in this case, since I know that my color palette isn't going to alter too much between panels, that's going to be super helpful. So I think we've almost hit everything that's Elizabeth's hair. Almost. And what's fun is when you use this method, I will say one thing I like about these pages, in particular that take place on the interior of the ship, is like there's not going to be a ton of selections to make because it's a relatively simple room. And so that means like the majority of the color is going to be just getting the figures blocked out and then kind of figuring out the room's tones. But I think that should, in theory, not take as long as like like one of the reasons that the room with the Chase Lounge that Elizabeth's in at the beginning of this book took so long to color was like things like the bookshelf where you have to like kind of color every single book on the shelf, things like that. In this case, it's pretty relatively straightforward. I do have to look up the laudanum bottle because I want it to have the same color as like the previous laudanum bottle. And actually, I even think the spoon should probably be the same color as the spoon she was using at 50 Wimple. So there's a lot of colors that we're just, you know, plugging in because we've already sort of established some. I'm also trying to keep the characters with their same color palette, even if they change costumes, because I think subconsciously that's going to sort of make people feel like it's the same character. So here we go. We've got the hair. Now we're going to move on to the eyeballs. Let's do Elizabeth's eyeballs. I don't even know if her eyeballs are showing that much. But let's check it out. There are eyeballs in that. There's some eyeballs. All right. There we go. Elizabeth's eyeballs. Now we're going to do mouth. Just doing like smaller sections. Mouth. I'm just deselecting the mouth. So it is a Sunday. Pretty nice Sunday. We're at pretty much like noon. So a little later than I'd like it to be. But it's not too bad. So there we go. Did I already pick? Okay, we did already pick Robert's. Wait, we're just doing mouths. Oh no, never mind. We're doing her full Skin. Okay. It's cool. We're ahead of where I thought we were. I didn't realize we had already done Robert. Need to have her sleeve actually should be white. I think I was making the mistake of forgetting that on this panel. So we're adjusting that. But it's going to be a fun, creative weekend, doing lots of work. Oh, no. Oh, that freaked me out. I had a moment where I clicked out of there and it looked like the thing had force quit. And luckily it had not. But that's a good reminder that once I do this next color fill, I should very much save where I am. That might be a good call. Oh, there was one other thing we were going to correct real quick. And that was going to be that sleeve. Okay. Now we're going to do the hair of Wilson. Wilson's hair will be next. There's your hair, Wilson. Wilson is the maid. It's a prominent character that's throughout this whole story and a loyal friend to Elizabeth and will continue to be a key player as a figure in the story. And is also like a very prominent figure in Elizabeth Barrett Browning's letters and stuff. And this should be here, and I accidentally picked a... There we go. Cool. Hair deselected. Pick this hair. Do. Here we come, walking down the street, getting sued for copyright infringement. I'm not going to actually sing the Monkees song. That would be a very quick way to be demonetized. I have no idea what just happened out there. Sure, it's something. All right, so we're gonna do the maid's hair. 'Tis the maid. We're going to then, after that, probably pick some other colors. Oh no, that was my bad. Pick some other colors. Well, let's see how far we can get here.
tail. What are you talking about over there? Taking away my food. Mumbling about?
What's up?
What is she mumbling about?
She was asking about her dog. All right, so we're gonna pick this, and now we just need to get more colors in there. We're getting closer, guys. This is thrilling times. I think I might need to save where I'm at here, and let's see what we can do. I kind of want to open another one with the maid that's a little more recent, just in case there's other colors to add as well. I think there might be, so let's do this. Perfect. Eyeballs, guys, eyeballs. Here we go. And I'm pretty happy with like how this is coming out. It's just it's just time consuming. Do we have okay. Okay, now we're doing mouth and lips. So far, I was able to kind of get a page, about a page and a half done yesterday. I wasn't able to get 3. I was hoping to get 3. So it's going to be interesting to kind of measure this out. But I do think there may still be possibility to get more. There's a laudanum panel I need to pull out of too once I'm done with these skin tone flats, getting those done. I think it's pretty clear that's not an ear, that's some hair, so I need to adjust that. And it's sort of like, in a weird way, this method is kind of like you're cutting out little pieces of paper that are kind of stuck underneath your line. So we're going to find that laudanum bottle from a previous panel after we're done kind of doing this, fixing that one selection area before we get into that. But I think we're getting closer, much closer. So here is a much more finalized kind of looking thing that we're almost done with. This I'm going to call waves, just so I don't lose track of what that is. Whoa. That actually looks really cool. That was almost an accident, but I kind of like that more. Hey, Mai, can you check this out real quick? Looks like a potential happy accident here. Well, actually, it's good because I should probably...
What?
Hold on, let me pause where I'm at. This is the way I do that, so I can deselect. Okay, cool. Okay, so if you look at this as opposed to this, which do you think is better? Like, keep in mind, I'll clean up that top part.
That one.
This one you like more, where it's subtle?
So
Okay.
it's supposed to be night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Gary. How you doing, buddy? It's Gary Hodges of Dinosaurs versus Mars Bots fame. How are you doing, Mr. Hodges? I am plugging away at coloring this comic. Let's see if we can do I need to find the laudanum bottle. I think that was a little bit later in the pages. I feel like that was yes. Okay, there it is. Found it. Page 18. So, spoon color is this. Spoon color, you're gonna happen. Spoon's next. That's right. That spoon had it coming. All right, there we go. We got the spoon. How is everything, Gary? I'm glad you're at the point where there's some action and like it sounded like the last time we talked, like there's some momentum going. Sounds pretty like a pretty good place to be. The spoon. There was a color fill error that I'm going to come across. Gary said, "Doing okay, just back at it." Yep, that's the grind. We are on the grind. The comic book grind. You know how there's like sea shanties and like mining songs and different songs from like different labor? Are there like cartoonist songs, you know, that they sing while they're working? I don't know. I feel like we need to if there aren't, we need to make some kind of like artist sea shanties for cartoonists. What do you think about that, Gary? The way that I said, "What do you think about that, Gary?" sounded a little creepy. What about that, Gary? What would you do with that? That kind of thing. This is a little strange the way I said that. All right. It does. Yeah, it kind of sounds threatening. It's like is oh my goodness. But I think artist sea shanties should happen. That's all I'm saying. I think we need like a collective sea shanty that we can all sing as we work on these interesting, crazy projects we opt to take on, you know? I think we need to ask Jim Luhan to write said sea shanty. Because if anyone could pull off, I mean, you'd need somebody who could write like Brevian hip hop to really nail a good cartoonist sea shanty. You know what I mean? You need a talented musical genius. Much like Jim. And that's how we sell it to him and get him to write our sea shanty. And then we could all sing it on our different shows, you know, like when we're streaming. We could be like, "This is my song about whatever." Yeah, it's possible, you know. I don't know. I also am a little sleep deprived, so to be honest, that might be slightly why the sea shanty thing is an interesting premise. I don't know if this is worth mining at this point. I have to say, this style is really fun because when you have like it just sitting over a flat color, it just makes for so much dimension that really is nowhere in the color. I don't know. I kind of dig it. I want the laudanum itself to kind of have a bit of a different tone. Let me look up real quick what is laudanum. Laudanum color. It is reddish brown. Okay. Good. That's where I was going to go. I was going to go there anyway. Taking that. Save. All right. Whew. Okay, there's a couple things. Like if we're looking out the window at this ocean and the sky, it's going to be the sky color through those portals, which we do see a slight bit through. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That might be a good place to pause. And I will put on the trailer for 2 Stories, my graphic novel about faith and mental illness, and I'll be right back. So we're kind of deselecting these ports, and I appreciate you guys who are tuning in and watching. I know that like yesterday, for instance, I was working on like some pretty heavy drawing, and I was listening in on a different stream and like was invited on, and I was like, I can't talk while I'm like like this process when I'm coloring, for sure I can chat it up and be in this place where I'm not like 100% paying a load of attention to what I'm saying, but I can still kind of stream of conscious like work and get work done. But there's things like when I'm drawing where it just requires a lot more focus, and I have tried to do streams while trying to work on like tight renderings, and it never works out because I end up making more mistakes and corrections. But anyhow, I am saying that because I know people listen to my channel too when they're working, and it's like I want you guys to know you are welcome to do that. Like it is not an obligation to chime in on the chats or anything like that, although it is fun to hear what you guys are up to and stuff. But I just want you to know, like, artists are welcome to lurk. Sometimes lurking is nice. I know when I work on art, I want stuff in the background to kind of keep my brain occupied, fight off the inevitable loneliness of cartooning. All right. Now we get to make some fun choices. Frank said, lurking is allowed. That's right. Art by Galen said, what's happening, sir? How you doing? What are you guys working on? How goes it? I just had a decent lunch and I'm trying to knock this stuff out. I think, what do we want to color first here? I think I want to do, I like the purple as like a tone, but I kind of want to do these ports. I'm going to do the metal ports, and maybe that'll be the same color as the metal beams. Metal beams and ports, you guys. Are you ready? And we're going to start backwards just to change it up, because why the hell not? Who says you have to go forwards? I am a rule breaker, you guys. I am a rebel. I'm a loner and a rebel, Dottie. Gary will know that reference. Did we get the roof beams? Are we raising high the roof beams? There's that one. I think somebody might know that one too. I'm just going to make weird, obscure references to different art pieces as I'm working on art. Art by Galen said, let's see. Okay. Gary said, I rotate through podcast, music, and the occasional Kemble stream. Trademarked. Oh, I like that. I might have to use the Kemble stream, except that you trademarked my last name in a stream. Thanks a lot, Gary. Thank you. Expect legal documents in the mail, sir. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Frank said, I'm making an impromptu business card to include in sketch cards and other stuff that people buy from me. Dude, I know this is like not the most profound thing to say, but like it is good to have a good business card. My problem is I have pretty nice business cards and I just forget them at almost every event where a business card would be appropriate. And it's like they're very useful and they have led to work, like very promising work. You know, this is another weird, luxurious situation I was in. Today I had to turn down a client that I have done work for this client for years. I love working for this client, but I was like, I'm supposed to do 6 pages this weekend and I'm on page 2. Like you know, the likelihood of me even hitting that is pretty slim. But if I took on freelance right now, I would just, it's just like, yeah, any goal of getting this done is not going to look good. I literally cannot afford to do one art piece right now. And I say that because it's kind of like, it's a unique situation. I usually cannot do that. I usually am pretty bad at that. It's not turning down work. Like I turn down work, you know. It's just more of being in a position to turn down work from clients that I like is a strange one. That's a new one. Usually I will only take the clients that I like, that I've built long-term relationships with. It was weird to have to say no to a client that I really appreciate. Like it was a little tough to do, but you cannot say yes to everything. I don't think. I mean, saying yes more often, that was like a goal of mine a couple years back, because I had gotten to the point where I was like probably saying no to too many things. But then that's also led to so many good things that now I have to say no to things again. It's kind of a weird thing, but fun. It's a good problem to have. It's not complaining. But that was a unique one today. Not a first, but definitely like a rare one. Oh, Art by Galen said, doing good here, working on some pinup stuff. Happy to catch you live. I always try to catch the Artcaster streams, but I'm normally unconscious by then. And then I'm not sure what this was referring to, but he said, I was thinking it as you said it. Maybe it was thinking that I'm a rebel. That must have been it. It's because I'm such a rebel character in this plot called life that the man is forcing on all of us. You see what I'm saying? That's very rebellious talk coming from me. You hear that? I am in such a goofy mood. I have no idea. You guys ever have those sleep debt moments where you're like, I was kind of kidding on the previous stream that I am an artist, so I definitely have friends who like smoke weed and do all that, and like I don't judge it because it's like, yeah, I mean, I've known plenty of people who are great people who do that, but it's like people in my life should be very thankful that I do not smoke weed, because if I did, I would be intolerable. I'm already like functioning on the level of a massive pothead without the pot. Like it's just sleep depths, overwork, like makes me into this kind of like stoner of a character anyway. So it's like I don't think people would want to see the results of that if I'm not saying I didn't, like in high school, definitely. Like that was something when I was younger that I don't, advocate for or whatever, but I definitely did a lot of when I was younger. But it's like, but it's one of those just yeah, it's just one of those funny things where I've had friends who are like still partake in that stuff and they're like, man, you should try that. And I'm like, yeah, you really don't want to see that version of me, because I'm already pretty pretty half baked just from my work schedule. Because I'm a rebel. I make comics. That's right. Yeah, my wife was saying you should start wearing your hair in a pompadour. I think I will. I think I'll start showing up on stream as like the Fonz. The problem is, I feel like Frank has that down pretty good. Like my favorite bit that Frank does is when he shows up on a stream and he's like lifting like a 3-pound weight. He's just like, yeah, that's right. He'll kind of mention like the gun show, or I don't know. I feel like Frank has that cornered, that bit. I cannot steal that from Frank. It is too funny and amazing when Frank does it. But it would be funny to show up on stream as the Fonz. I feel like we should do that for Luhan's next appearance on Artcasters. I think, Gary, you need to be a guest on it too. We'll all dress as the Fonz, and then we won't tell Jim. We'll just, the next time that Jim is on Artcasters, we won't tell him, but we'll all appear as the Fonz and just be like, hey, oh. And see, this is my problem. Do you guys have this problem? If I try to like do a Fonz voice, it always ends up sounding like it's John Travolta from Welcome Back, Kotter, where it's like, whoa, Mr. Kotter. Huh? Oh, hey, I don't know what to say about all this going on here. And then if I try to do, yeah, I'm really bad at impressions, you guys. Yeah, see, Gary knows. He said a loose cannon. And then Art by Galen said the Pee Wee Herman reference was what he was thinking it as he said it. I love it. And then that reminds me of the Bob Ross thing. His name is owned by other people. 100% is. If we were to do a Bob Ross thing, we would have to just make it like his appearance too, his likeness is trademarked. So you'd have to just have it be a guy with like a big afro and You would have to just make it like this painter who happens to have an afro and happens to be very much about peaceful painting. And you'd probably have to avoid using phrases like happy trees and stuff, because I'm sure even that is like probably trademarked. And they're very litigious. But you could still get away with it with parody. You just couldn't use his name. You wouldn't be able to call him Bob Ross. You could probably call him Rob Boss, you know? All right. Art by Galen said, good old fashioned sleep deprivation included induced delirium, 100%. And then Frank said, no excuses, hey, and like did the little muscle thing. And he said, 10-pound weight. I love it. Art by Galen said, is everyone here a comic creator? I believe everyone, yes, is a comic creator. Except for me, I'm just a rebel. That's what I do here. I just rebel. And then occasionally comics just happen out of my rebellion, you see? Nice. Frank said, people do Bob Ross style videos. Jazza had an Aussie Bob Ross character. Art by Galen said, nice. I've been trying to make myself get out of my shell and interact with other creators. I tend to stay pretty isolated, and I'm tired of not having other comic making friends. And he said, my buddy Aaron did a zombie Bob Ross video. Awesome. Well, dude, welcome. And glad you're coming out of your shell. And we're always happy to have like other creators around. We're kind of all in a community around like the art casters and Dinosaurs versus Mars bots and Frank's Captain Goggles. And we all kind of, yeah, we chide each other and support each other. And yeah, work on this thing, this crazy thing called comics. Are you a comic creator? It is an interesting thing though. Like, it's definitely worthwhile to kind of meet other comic creators, I think. Till you realize they're all rebels without a cause. They're all out of control rebels that can't be told what to do. They chart their own course. I think my wife is aware that I'm a little sleep deprived too. She's like, Josh, you're going to scare people away. It's like, oh, I will scare people away with these rebellious eyes of mine. It's going to happen, guys. If there were like a carton of a bunch of eggs, I would just be eating all the eggs like Cool Hand Luke, just destroying all of them. I wouldn't even need to be asked to like, see how many eggs I could eat or anything. I would just do it just to do it, That's Oh, yeah, that's the crazy thing about that movie. I think he actually did really eat those eggs. Yeah.
His face, he looks all like.
Yeah, and when people think of like rebels, they tend to think like Joshua Kemble or Paul Newman, really. I mean, it's like, there's no big difference there. All right, we're doing the roof now, guys. Art by Galen said, I watched Artcasters for a while. I found it through Scott's channel a few years ago, but I stay pretty quiet. Well, I'm glad you're speaking up. It's fun. And then he said, he is a cartoonist. I have my own book I do solo, working on issue 4 now. What's your book? Have you mentioned it? I'm sure. And then Frank said, if he says no, should I ban Galen? Only comic creators here. Yeah, welcome to our comic creators club, huh? Only comic creators allowed. That's how we do it here in the Rebel territory.
He said he was lonely. Nice. Huh? He said he was lonely. Nice. Are you talking to me?
I feel like we need to get matching tattoos. What do you guys think? I think our whole community, we should get like skulls with like, I don't know. It's got to have some kind of skull kind of thing, you know? I'm just saying, Gary, if you had to get a matching tattoo with me, what would it be? What would your hardcore gang tattoo be for the art? Like, I'm curious. I feel like we could probably coax Jim into it. That's true. My wife pointed out we could all get matching tramp stamps. Just lower back tattoos. I think that would work very effectively.
I respect you.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Gary said, first rule of being in the club is watch out for that Salazar Art Nation guy. Yeah, like I mean, Frank is a mod here because I make rebels moderates. You see what I'm saying? Or not moderates, moderators. I make rebels into moderates. That would be awfully strange. Suddenly Frank on like everything is like, I mean, from one perspective, I can kind of see it that way, but have you thought about kind of like the other side on that? You see that? That's a moderate rebel. I am in such a goofy mood. I don't know. If I'm going too far, guys, if I've lost sleep and I'm going down the crazy train a little too much, let me know in the chats. And then Frank will ban you. Boom. Art by Galen said, funny thing, Josh, long before I did comics, I was a tattooer for 13 years. I can make this happen. Tramp stamps all around.
Don't say that.
Oh, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. Oh my goodness. We know a couple tattoo artists. That's pretty rad. Gary's friend Squatch was a tattoo artist. I mean, I should have been a tattoo artist because I'm so rebellious, you know? It's like, I really should have been. Here's the problem with me and my streams and my brain. If I get a bit like that in my head, it's just never going to go. Like that will be a bit forever. That's just a warning for how the stream will go. When I get an idea, it's hard for me to ditch that idea. All right. We're drawing some ceilings. I do love the idea of like some really like hardcore like cartoonists though. Like, it's like yeah, it's like it is like the biker gang bit in the Monty Python thing, like the Hell's Grannies. It's one of the best Monty Python bits ever. But it could be kind of like that, where it's like you have like people like walking by a convention center and it's like pulling their kid closer and being like, be careful, there's a comic book convention going on in there. You need to stay away from those cartoonists. I could see it. Parents warning their children. They're just like, whatever you do, don't read that smut. Dinosaurs versus Mars bots. Next thing you know, you'll be doing drugs and hanging out with the wrong crowd. I could see it. I could see it. I don't know. Do you guys see my vision here? Cartoonist future full of mad rebels. Frank said, I can see your point on going too far, but I can also see the other side. Oh, yeah, Jib was a tattoo artist. Art by Galen said, we all got to get portraits of Josh on our bums. Yes, you guys do. I'm sorry. Sorry to tell you that. That's the cost of entry. Frank said, this is true. I'm now obligated to make Captain Anarchy because of Josh. That's true. Frank said, Anna thinks it's a bad idea, and I can see your point of view, but I'm a moderate rebel. I love it. The idea of like a rebellious moderate is really hilarious to me. Like that needs to be a thing. A rebel moderate. I can see that. They could just be so moderate that they're rebellious. Like it's like a high school class and the teacher's like, and that's how the French Revolution happened. And it's like, well, I can understand your point of view, Mr. Cotter, but really, I mean, that's your perspective. You got to consider the other side. Have you considered both sides on this perspective? It's like, Frank, I've been warning you. You speak up like that in class again. Okay, I'm gonna disappear like a magic trick, and I will be shortly back. But first, I'm gonna put on the trailer for Jacob's Apartment, and then I shall be back, and we shall rock Muchly comic books. All right, here we go. Speak clearly, it seems that only in dreams can we be these things we've seen and walk around breathing of pain. I don't know the part to play in this heart of mine. There's dissonant things, they split at the seams for me. All right, so we are flatting colors. Art by Galen said, nice. Thank you. So I have to say, it's really fun to like work on art and to be a rebel moderate. You know what I'm saying? So I want to push this rebel moderate idea further and see where it heads. So like, what if what do rebel moderates look like? Do they show up to like protests and there's like counter protests, and then in between the protesters and the counter protesters are the rebel moderates who are just like, I don't know, I can kind of see it both ways. You know what I'm saying? But they're wearing like, you know, pink feathers and like a lot, not pink feathers. It would have to be like some neon feathers and some football pads and stuff. And just be like looking like they walked straight out of like Mad Max, but not Mad Max, maybe Thunderdome. Like they just walked off the set of Thunderdome and they're like just rebelliously being moderate. I think that would be hilarious. This needs to be a sketch of some sort. Gary said, "Are these people who are saying things like both sides are bad, essentially rebel moderates?" Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but you know, it's like they'd have to be like extra rebellious in their moderateness, or they could literally just be rebel moderators. You know, where they're like moderating debates for some reason, because that's what rebels do. They're like, look, guys, this is a little crazy, but I'm going to ask that you guys rebelliously stick to your time frame as you are exchanging ideas and follow the rules of this debate. If you don't, be careful, I'm a rebel. Like that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm trying to riff on it, see where it goes. Who knows? Or stream mods who troll the streamer. That's pretty common. Rebel mods. Yeah, that's. I mean, I was gonna say that's Gary, but Gary hasn't been modded. I should mod Gary, but no, Frank is my rebel mod for my channel. I still need a rebel mod for my Twitch stream. But I have like 3 followers on Twitch. Like I have some actual, like not a ton, but I have like a little bit of an audience on YouTube. And the subscriber count's been going up and stuff. But Twitch just twitching me. I still stream to Twitch, but I swear I get like maybe 1 person watching. I don't really share out the link for Twitch though, so I haven't really put a ton of effort into it. But sometimes on Twitch, because I have no rebel mods, you know, I'll get like the occasional ad for like some weird dating site, which I've made into a bit on this stream too, where it's like I do think this would be a fun test, is like go to a comic convention and just use all the copy that they use on like a spam bot for your own book. We're just like, you guys, my book is better than Tinder. You know what I mean? It's possible. Oh, link to my Twitch. I cannot look it up right now, but it's probably just under what is my name on Twitch? I think it's just Joshua Kemble on Twitch. Let me see if I can find it. View on Twitch. Okay, yeah, it's Twitch. Here, I'll give you the link. Boom. Popping that in there for you. Yeah, if you want to be one of my like 4 followers on Twitch, that would be cool. I don't know why. I think Twitch is a much more streamlined for live streams kind of format. But for some reason, I've been doing YouTube for a bit, and I enjoy it. And most of my community, I think, is on YouTube. But I am always open to kind of. The other thing is I actually don't really know the platform as well. Nice. Art by Galen said, I am follower number 15. See? Slowly but surely. Years from now, when I am at like 16 subscribers, I'm going to look back and be like, there was a point in time where I only had 15 subscribers. And this will seem like a very historic moment. Man, I'm being a goofball. It's all those rebel moderates, they've gotten in my head. Like, how they say, like, who you hang out with, like, kind of rubs off on you. Well, I got to stop hanging out with so many rebel moderates, All right, so we have a bed now. I like that color for the bed, particularly because I think that post stands out really well against the background. I got something like a text, sounds like. Okay, so we are making the bedpost part. We're almost done with this page, guys. We're getting there. It's Adam. Adam, how's it going, buddy? Hope you got some rest. Adam was streaming at the wee hours of the morning, and I listened to his stream this morning. It was fun. Let's see here. Oh, Frank said it must be a delay. You said let me look up the link, and the link had already been posted. Oh, nice. Well, thank you, Frank. You are the ultimate rebel mod. I appreciate that. Yeah, we have a lot of bits we've started, Adam. One of them is I was saying that Frank is a rebel mod, like as a joke, but I accidentally said rebel moderator, or no, I said rebel moderate, and then we kind of riffed on that, and it became like this whole thing about how funny it would be if there were like rebel moderates who just like no matter what they hear, they're like, well, I can hear what you're saying, but on the other hand. And then it's just kind of blown out of proportion from there. But honestly, a lot of it's very sleep-deprived humor. But you missed a little bit of that. But I thought I'd catch you up on it, just so if I mention Rebel mods, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about. Adam said pages look great. What page are you on now? I am on page 22, so I'm still quite behind where I need to be. But I am happy with how they're coming out. I feel like there's something very like vintage and fun about this style, and I don't know, like so far it's really worked out. So kind of like this for the part here. Thanks, Adam. Adam said, I love the way you're using digital technology to create something with a very tangible vintage look. Yeah. It's weird, it's like I think with art, I don't know, this has been a belief of mine for a long time, but I do like a lot of artists that have a very distinctive style. I admire that. And, there's definitely artists who work in a specific style that I really dig. But I do feel like as creatives, when we're approaching a story, picking the style based on the story is a pretty cool idea. Um, I think letting the emotion of the story kind of convey to you what the style should be. I think that's a really fun way to work. It's kind of freeing, and it gives you more tools in the toolkit. But then there's guys like Daniel Klaus who has like a very specific. He has a couple styles he works in. Especially early Daniel Klaus. A lot of 8-ball kind of alternated between that sort of the Mad Magazine kind of one pager style, where it would be like these really big headed cartoon characters that are almost like caricatures. And then also like the more kind of like what Klaus is most known for style, but it would like kind of shift between the two. But it's pretty much like Klaus's stuff looks like Klaus, and you can recognize Klaus from like a mile away. I wouldn't want Klaus to suddenly just start shifting all over the place with his style, because it's just his style is so enjoyable and great that it would be kind of a shame if like he just gave it up. So I hope that's not what it sounds like I'm saying. I'm not saying like all artists should just totally abandon their style, but I'm just saying like when you're considering a story, that's always a thing that's pretty cool. Is like the at least for me, that's one of the things I like, is being able to like tonally shift to fit the atmosphere of whatever it is I'm trying to create. It's kind of like if you're a guitarist, like sometimes like it makes sense to like hook up the Les Paul, and sometimes it makes sense to like stick with the acoustic, and sometimes it's just much more of a Fender thing. It's like, and then sometimes you decide you're a moderate rebel, and you pick up like an electric guitar and you just break it because you're just like, I am a rebel who's a moderate. You know what I'm saying? But I think a rebel moderate would break their guitar. Like, I don't know, would they break? It's weird. I think they'd be like stuck between breaking their guitar and not. I don't know. People would ask them like what their style of music is, and they're like, well, I mean, some people have said we sound like this, and I can see where they're coming from, because, we kind of do sound like that. But some other people say we sound like this, and I can see where they're coming from, because we kind of sound like that. It's really hard to make a choice on. What's funny? That's not all that far from like what a band would actually say. Oh. Art by Galen said, I have a few different styles I use regularly. I get bored drawing the same style all the time, so it helps me to do different projects in different styles. For sure. Frank said, speaking of toolkits, and then he plugged Scott Cirklin's great comic making toolkits on circworks.com. Nice. And then Adam said, I think as a young artist, I was totally into style. Then I got more into structure and form. Now I'm getting back into style as an important component of art. Yeah, I think the neat thing about style is I don't know if you cannot have a style. Like, I don't know if there is such a thing as a styleless style. Like, I feel like even in this book, even though I'm drawing it and rendering it in a different style, there's still an approach to drawing people that's just always going to look like my thing, you know? Because, I mean, even Jacob's apartment and Two Stories are like two very different styles, but, you know, I don't know if to other people it looks like all that different. To me, it feels like this like substantially different, you know, approach, but I like the idea of the blue sheets that are going to match the blue water a little bit. I also like how that'll put like a that might be too dark of blue though. Frank said, and sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much. And then Gary said, see at Art by Galen. This is why I told you to watch out for Salazar Art Nation. And then Frank said, as a handsome artist, I like using a hybrid approach to my art. I mix traditional and digital in different ways. I like that you start with as a handsome artist. I think I'm gonna steal that, Frank. That's hilarious. It's not hilarious. You are a handsome artist. I'm just saying that's a hilarious way to phrase it. Kind of like parents where they're like, as a father or as a mother, it's like, well, you know, as a really handsome person, I that's hilarious. And then Art by Galen said, Hodges, see, the thing is, I don't worry about that. If people cross the line with me, I just draw them into smut comics. I could see that. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what color I want the wall to be. I want the back wall and the front wall to be kind of similar. I'm definitely going to lighten that blue because that's going to print really dark. But I do kind of dig this for like the color of the back wall. The color of the black wall. That's also a metal song. All right. We'll get there, guys. Slowly but surely. That was a setup, Frank, if you want to make a Shirley joke. The classic airplane bit. I'm hoping you take the bait. Frank said, Art by Galen says the guy who suggested tramp stamps. Hey, I suggested. Oh, okay, cool. Art by Galen said, hey, Josh suggested them. I said we can make this happen. Oh my goodness. I love this. And actually, I think it was my wife who initially was like, you guys should get matching tramp stamps. I think that she was actually the instigator of the madness there. What else is going down in the chats? Let's see. I think there is a distinct signature style that shines through your work regardless of how you approach it. Same with Klaus. Well, thank you. I want to steal Frank's thing. As a handsome artist, I love that. As a handsome artist, I agree with you, Adam. That's so funny, Frank. That's I don't know. I really like that one. Okay, let's see here. What else do we have? Art by Galen said, I've had folks tell me this too. I do think it's hard for me to see my own style, but people say it's there, so shrug. Yeah, I think that I remember when I used to teach like college students, they get so hung up on style. And I did too when I was younger, you know, where I'd just be like, I need a style. I need a style. And it's like, it's weird what happens when you kind of just go, you know what, I'm going to learn how to draw. And then it's weird, but it's like you just have a style. Like a style will just come. And what's weird is a lot of people who have kind of a more generic style that doesn't have a voice to it, a lot of those people will be stuck on the idea of like, well, I need to draw in my style. And it's like, well, you don't, you know what I mean? It's interesting where it's like, I think there's something kind of amazing that happens when you almost like abandon style, where you just kind of can't escape it. Like style is just going to happen. Unless you go to Art Center. I'm just kidding. I was just trying to think of something weird that I could say at the end of that would like negate everything. And by the way, Art Center is like a really amazing school, so that's why I thought it would be kind of. I mean, on one hand, I know what I'm saying there, but you know, on the other, as a moderate rebel here, I don't know. Frank said, I can't go against the Kembles, so I blamed Galen. Yes, Frank took the bait. He said, that's great, Josh, but don't call me Shirley. Thank you. I figured surely Frank will get this. Oh, I like all of these style statements. What do we have? Frank said, it's my style to draw crooked eyes and lopsided arms. And then Art by Galen said, it's my style to strategically make hands and feet either cut off or hidden. I like it. You guys just don't understand my style. Okay. I'm gonna put on another thing because I'm again like I'm sleep deprived, but look how close we are to done. We're almost there. All right. I'm gonna put on the Christmas trailer. Do that. Okay, we are going to power through the rest of this page now. And I don't think it's impossible. I think that we can do this. I wanted to brighten the blue a little bit because blue is always a tough one. And when you print blue under black, it's just, you're risking a lot. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So now we're going to get into these blues and see if we can find some clues, you guys. What is wrong with my brain today? Okay. Let's get goofy and finish this business. It's almost there. I actually kind of don't mind that. I want the sheets to be more of kind of like a muted blue, but I like the blue. The blue against the white and the orange kind of make a thing that makes it pop. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the official art term of what's happening there. Kind of like this too. I kind of feel like there's some details here somehow. I think this needed to be white down there. Okay. Same here. I think. Okay, there's a couple things I missed here. So, I'm going to do. Look at how well those colors are reading. Nice. All right. That's what I missed. So that panel's almost done. There was a doorway that I missed, I think. Or maybe I didn't. We didn't miss the doorway. Okay. Oh. There were some bottoms. I had some characters. What would we get as matching tattoos? We still have to figure this out, you guys. If we all had to get like matching tattoos, they wouldn't have to be tramp stamps. They could be like the classic mom with a heart kind of tattoo. What would it be? It's true. My wife said it could be a bunch of little Finding Nemos. It's true. It's kind of a let's see here. Benji almost asked for goggles. I thought that Frank would get a kick out of that. Frank is a big fan of goggles. And I thought that was worth mentioning. He was asking for his glasses, but he said, oops, I accidentally said goggles. And I was saying, I don't think that was an accident. I think that was a shout out to Frank Salazar and Salazar Art Nation and Captain Goggles. That's what I think that was. I'm going to save this. I like the idea of the front and the back of this cabin. Frank said, you might say that I am the captain of the goggles. That's true. This is true, Frank. It has been said. I can agree with that. Like as a handsome artist, I think about that a lot, you know? I think about okay, here's a little side project for all of us. I've already done this on my stream, so check done. This is a little homework for all of you. Adam, on your next live stream, somehow work into your conversation that phrase as a handsome artist. Don't say why or anything like that. Just randomly make a comment about your art and just say, you know, as a handsome artist, I would just say, or you know, use that qualifier. Gary, same thing. Next live stream or interaction online, maybe just randomly say like, as a handsome artist. I think we can make this a thing. And we could see if like our art friends start saying as a handsome artist. Just see if it catches on, you know? I think that would be a fun social experiment. We'll see if anyone in our audience is just like, why is everybody saying as a handsome artist, right? Galen said, "Oh, I'll do it." Yeah, do it for sure. Oh my gosh, if somebody could do I love that. Oh, wow. Frank is overlapping it. Not only is he doing as a handsome artist, but right now he's being a rebel moderate and a handsome artist. He's saying, as a handsome artist, I prefer the XP pen tablet, but I can see why people prefer Wacom's. You know, maybe that's the rebel moderate. Maybe the rebel moderate says something that sounds just like offhand, like super rebellious, and then they kind of qualify it at the end. But, you know, they're like, the whole system needs to be overthrown. But I can also see the benefits of the system. It's very helpful. Wait, what? I think that would be pretty amazing. Oh, Adam said, as a handsome artist, I must agree. I love that. I love it. You guys, we're almost there. Almost there. Just got to do the chair, the door, and that other side. And I have no idea why, but my brain is extremely shorting out right now. So I definitely need to finish this page. Okay. What do we got here? Kind of like that. That works for depth. For depth of field, you know what I'm saying? All right. That's enough for this section. Art by Galen said, as handsome artists, we must get this man a coffee stats. It is true. We're getting there, though, guys. We're going to get through this page. Hell or high water. What do you think that means, by the way? This is a weird thing. I say hell or high water quite often. What is the origin of hell or high water? Like, what is high water? What does that mean? Like, do you think it's like some kind of like, in what context is high water a thing? Like, what does that mean? I'm just curious about the origin of that now. Are any of you guys familiar with that? If not, if you Google it or whatever, let us know. But definitely let us know if it's something you knew off the top of your head or you had to Google. Because I am fascinated by weird stuff like that. Where if I like say something that I've been saying for a long time, and then I'm like, wait a minute, where does that come from? You know? And then if it's like really obvious, I'll probably feel pretty silly for not knowing it. But I'd rather just be honest and be like, I have no idea where that comes from. Maybe it's like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know the origin of that. What is the origin of hell or high water? Mai, do you know? Hell or high water, like what is that from? Yeah, neither. It's weird. I use that term all the time. For all I know, I could be like invoking some weird ceremony that opens portals to the netherworld. Oh, here we go. Gary said, I was wondering if you picked that up from me. No, not at all. I've always used it. Floods, said Art by Galen. And then Gary said, I assume it's an old-timey pioneer thing. Like high water would get in the way of a trip. Yeah, that's true. Getting away from hell by going on high waters. That's true. Art by Galen said, I tried throwing my coffee at the screen and now I'm a sad, handsome artist. Hey, you know what's a good way to give coffee digitally? Super chats. Huh? I'm kidding. But that would be a way to buy me a coffee. You can always throw in like $1 super chat, couple bucks. That buys a coffee. Gary said, used to say that something will definitely happen or be done, even though other events or situations might make it difficult. I will be there on time, come hell or high water. Yeah, that's the thing is like, hell or high water. I used to be able to say that until there was a friend of mine that I said I'd be on their stream. And I promised them I would be on their stream. And then I blew it. I usually never do that. And so that would have been a scenario where I might have used, you know what? I'll be there come hell or high water. I've lost my privileges for that. I don't know if you know that person, Gary, but I still feel bad about it. I still feel so bad about that. Anyhow, there we go. Let's see. Frank said it has to do with the devil. The expression came from come hell or high water, originated in America. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. The first printed reference comes from an Iowa newspaper, the Burlington Weekly Hawkeye, dated May 1882. Frank said, since that time, the best of my friends had become enemies and strangers and have become friends. The devil had broke loose in many parts of the country, and keeping up with the old saying, we've had unrevised hell and high water and a mighty heap of high water, I tell you. Wow. And then Adam said, I'm not saying an origin, but I always took it to mean hell would not stop you. High water, as in water too high to sail in or in a flood, would not stop you. All right, guys, we got to do yeah, Frank, that's really cool. Thank you for finding that. And Art by Galen, That's very sweet of you. Thank you for buying me a coffee. That's really sweet. Yeah, he just kicked in $3 to buy me a coffee. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very sweet. I might actually have to put on a little thing and go get a cup of coffee. Well, we're almost there though. We're almost there, guys. We're gonna finish this page here. So here's what I'm thinking. I have a crap load of these pages to get done today. And I'm also a little delusionally sleepy. So here's the conundrum that's before me is, do I push forward and pencil a page and then possibly collapse? Or do I take a hour power nap and then plug through till 2 in the morning and get as many pages done as I can? I'm open to advice on that.
He's gonna choose if he wants to take a nap for an hour and then get as many pages done as possible, or just try to read a few pages now and possibly crash.
Benji summarized that well. Yeah, Art by Galen said power naps are actually pretty awesome self-care for overexertion. Yeah, I agree. I think that may be the way. It might be. You know what? I'm almost curious what Adam, what did you do? Because you were up at the wee hours this morning. Did you do a quick power nap, or are you just powering through into the day? Yeah, Adam was saying it's probably more productive to get sleep now if you are that tired. Yeah, it's weird. I think it's because I did a 20-something hour, maybe a little longer than that, work day yesterday. So it's been a slog. But what's cool is a lot of the stuff I needed is in place to just kind of knock out pages as quickly as possible. And so I do think I could achieve more. I don't know. I got to figure it out. Kind of digging that. I like that for one of the cups. Got a rocking ship. You guys, that's a rocking ship. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Okay. Maybe that answered my question. That stupid joke has almost answered my question entirely. I think I should probably take a nap. Just the fact that I even thought that joke was worth saying. I don't know though. It might make for some interesting streams if I power through, because I am getting pretty goofy. It's getting a goofy town right now. I'm pretty content with this page. The one thing I don't like is I think the cough should stay the same. That's a weird phrase to say, but it's like I think the cough, if it's black on the top of the page, then it should be black on the bottom of the page. If it's not, then it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? It's like I need to kind of pick a line and stick with it. What is going on here? What is going on over here? Okay. There we go. So I think I kind of want to do that. Just because I feel like that should be consistent, you know? It's kind of weird to have it be like white on one panel and black on the other. I mean, on one hand, I'm really enjoying you guys in the chats, though, man. You guys have really made this a lot of fun for me. Thank you for hanging out and keeping me company. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying the stream too. I know we're all handsome artists, and as handsome artists, it can be, you know, difficult. Just life can be difficult when you're handsome. Oh my gosh. You guys, that's got to be the next few streams. We can just annoy people by being like, you know, just being beautiful is really difficult. I don't know if you guys struggle with this, but it's hard for me to like order groceries because people look at me and they're just like, man, this guy is beautiful. You know, it's tough. It's a hard life. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. John Coyote joined. Awesome. And he said, Adam better have slept because of lack of sleep is very bad. I agree. 5 hours isn't too bad, man. Good on you, Adam. Art by Galen said, LOL and nap time. And then Adam said, how was Miss Parker's stream? Oh, I think they're referencing some drama that was talked about on Adam's channel. Let's see. And then Frank said, as a handsome artist, I agree. And then let's see here. John Coyote said, I wouldn't know. I don't have that problem. John, this is a whole bit that we're doing on this in the chats where we're going to qualify everything. This is all of your homework. I'm going to probably go nap because I haven't finished this page. But when I'm done with this page, I'm probably going to take off and do a nap real quick and then live stream again. Your guys' homework in the interim, if you're down, is to just randomly say that on your own streams or just outside of here. Like just say in random it could be to a relative. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be recorded. Just try saying that, just like for something where you're like, you know, as a handsome artist, I'm just kind of, I think that would be hilarious if all of us kind of make that a little side project. And you can just know that like even if people look at you like, well, that's a weird thing. Did they just say that? And you kind of don't acknowledge it, but you know you're part of this secret art project. I think that's awesome. So that's our little our crazy art project for the week. I don't know. What do you think? I think that would be pretty incredible. Can do great things, you guys, collectively. But I do think it's hilarious. All inspired by Frank Salazar. think that's good. This one needs to be multiply. Yay! We did it. We did it. We got our color holds separated. We got this page finished. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna call it, guys. And I actually am gonna catch I'm gonna try to catch about an hour of sleep, and then I will probably be back much later in the night because I have to pencil an entire page again. And then just repeat and rinse and repeat and recycle. Adam said the page looks great. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate everybody stopping in. Art by Galen, it was awesome to hear from you. Thanks for following Artcasters for so long, and it's fun to hear you. You mentioned earlier you usually kind of stay a little quieter, and you were gonna kind of reach out and say hi, and I just really appreciate that, and appreciate John. Thank you for hopping on here. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, just thanks to everybody. I mean, obviously, Frank, Gary, all the handsome artists out there. I mean, as handsome artists, we all know the struggle. So I really appreciate you guys overcoming this burden of being handsome artists that we all carry, to be here on the stream and keep me company. Adam said he's going to do a stream in a little bit. So maybe if people are still hanging on streams, you can hop over to there. And then again, like later in the night, I'll probably be streaming too. If you haven't yet, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications when I'm about to go live. That way, if I do randomly stream tonight and you guys are up and working on art, you'll get notified. And if you haven't yet, obviously pick up my book, Jacob's Apartment, which is a coming of age graphic novel that's about Jacob and Sarah and them kind of overcoming obstacles in their lives to kind of find commonality in their dreams that both overlap in dreams and reality. It's kind of like if you took Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind and put Ghost World and that in a blender, and if you like the flavor of that drink that would come out, then you'll probably enjoy this book. And that's available bookstores everywhere and from Graphic Mundi. And then also my graphic novel, Two Stories. And also I plugged this at the beginning, but I think it's worth mentioning one last time. My sister-in-law wrote this cool book, and it's kind of punk rock like novel, and it's called October French and the Tour of the Broken Hearts. And that's on Amazon and self-published, and it's amazing so far. I'm just in the first chapter, but I've been really enjoying it, and I'm proud of her for finishing an entire novel. That's so rad because she's a writer, and that's a hard thing to do. So yeah. Anyhow, that's it. And I love John's advice there, where he said, "Now go nap and drink some water too." I will, John. Thank you. All right, guys, enjoy yourselves, and thank you for putting up with the burden of being handsome artists. Have a good day, guys. Bye.